Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to my other apostles, a great millstone, and peace and salutations to the hopeful members of the elect, the Bachayim of the house of David, that's been preordained, predestined to get delivered in these last end times, and to be the ruling governing body of the nation, Yasha'Allah. I want to go into a lesson in recent news, and there's been a flooding in Texas, at least 82 people unalived. So let's play this, and we can get scriptures.
Good morning, and thank you so much for waking up with us here on Live Now from Fox. It's Monday, July 7th. I'm Jeanne Francine, here with you for the next few hours to give you all of your breaking news alerts, top stories, and of course, your live events of the day. We continue with breaking news and priority coverage, which takes us out to the Lone Star State of Texas. I want you to take a look at the latest video we are getting this Monday morning, courtesy of our content partners, also from locals in the area, sharing video from their backyard. Very compelling as we watch this together. Unfortunate news this morning. The number of dead across central Texas has now risen to at least 82, with multiple people still missing. This after catastrophic flooding decimated several communities in the early morning hours on July 4th. Recovery and search efforts press on this morning as officials face questions over the effectiveness and speed of local alerts. We want to check in now with Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor. She joins us from Kerrville, Texas, with the very latest.
The number of people dead keeps rising across central Texas after flash floods tore through the region on Friday. At least 6 dozen people are dead as officials vow to keep searching for the missing.
We had no idea that it would ever get this bad.
The reality of the devastation is still sinking in for many flood victims across central Texas. Intense rain early Friday caused levels on the Guadalupe River to quickly rise by about 26 feet in some spots, triggering widespread destruction across several counties outside San Antonio. Kerr County has suffered some of the most intense losses. It's home to Camp Mystic, an all-girls Christian summer camp where several campers are still unaccounted for. Survivors recount braving intense conditions to get to safety.
We guided our girls hand in hand to these military trucks.
It was nothing short of horrific to see what those young children went through. And we will remain 100% dedicated, searching for every single one of them.
Helicopters, divers, and more keep combing through disaster sites for any victims, as local officials face questions about their alert systems.
There's going to be a full review, of this so we can make sure that we focus on future preparedness.
Meanwhile, additional rainfall in the area is expected through Tuesday.
The ground is already saturated, so any rain that falls can be perceived as life-threatening rain.
President Donald Trump has signed a major disaster declaration for Kerr County. He said he'll likely visit on Friday. In Kerrville, Texas, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Now, it hit central Texas, and in some areas, the flood was 26 feet high. Now, here's another video I want to play.
My house. Take off your shoes.
This is from Hassan Campbell.
Violate that like button. So, after seeing this video.
Okay, my house is flooding. Anybody out there? I have my dad on hospice and I need to get him out of here. He's bedridden. He can't walk. He can hardly move. And look where the water is. So somebody please, we've called 911. It's bad over here. In front of the house, it's like a river. It's like a lake. They can't come look. We've lost our cars, everything. We've lived here for 30 years, and this has never happened. So anybody, please, if you have a boat or something, I need help. I need to get my dad out of here. It's starting to smell like sewer in here.
she said she's been living there for 30 years. That was what, in San Angelo in Texas, okay, because that's where this flood hit, primarily central Texas, okay. And again, 30 years, and she said that's never happened, that type of flood. And why is that? It's because Esau Edom, the Most High gave this man the technology on the left-hand side to use it for evil, okay? And going on ChatGPT, I asked it, what is HAARP and cloud seeding? Even though we know what it is, but just to edify, all right, HAARP and cloud seeding are often linked to claims about weather control, mind control, and global manipulation, though the actual science behind both is different and far less dramatic. It's very dramatic, though. Yeah, okay. It's a type of machine that can create tornadoes and catastrophic events. All right, HAARP, High Frequency Active Auroral Research Program. All right, what it is really, because I asked ChatGPT to go into the conspiracy theory of it. Sometimes you got to ask it like that, okay? And it's not a conspiracy, it's factual. A scientific research facility in Gakona, Alaska, originally funded by the U.S. Air Force, Navy, and DARPA, designed to study ionosphere, the upper atmosphere where radio waves travel using high-frequency radio waves. Now, the conspiracy theory claims HAARP is often accused of controlling weather, example, causing hurricanes, droughts, earthquakes, mind control, or mood manipulation through electronic magnetic waves. Yes, and they do this, okay? Frequency, when you change the frequency of something, that can alter a person's mind. Music, for example, all right? And there's even examples in the scriptures with that, with King David playing the harp to King Saul, and it got the evil spirit off of him. All right. Now this man, Esau Edom, okay, his wisdom surpassed even Daniel. All right. They have this type of technology. They have direct energy weapons, satellites in space that shoot down lasers. They can do these type of things and cause catastrophic events, fires. And why is that? It's because they want to incorporate their smart cities. Okay. And to get rid of people, they do have the Georgia Guidestones that they must follow, keep or maintain humanity under 500 million, okay? Disabling satellites or communications globally, being a secret weapon for climate warfare, okay? Cloud seeding, a weather modification technique that involves dispersing substances like silver iodide or dry ice into clouds to encourage precipitation, rain or snow, used in drought relief, snowpack enhancement, or even clearing fog out airports. Okay, now the conspiracy theory claim is governments for weather warfare or climate control, secret programs to manipulate agriculture, cause floods, droughts, or even to test population control methods, fueling chemtrail theories, false claims that planes spray chemicals for secret purposes. See, and ChatGPT goes off on this. They're not false claims. Again, they are spraying chemicals, chemtrails, all right, mixed with different type of elements, barium and aluminum, and it's very harmful and toxic to the human body. So really all living organisms, okay? And this is what Esau is doing. He's using his HAARP, his cloud seeding, to cause these type of hurricanes and earthquakes, okay? Droughts, and in this case, floodings. You see? And the scriptures say how this would happen. Let's get KJV. All right. Now I want to get. Now this is not going to correlate with the floods, but it is going to correlate with what we just read of the HAARP and the cloud seeding. Okay, but particularly the HAARP. Okay, because it said it can cause earthquakes, right? 2 Ezra chapter 9, I'll start at verse 1. And he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I had told thee before. And we measure the time diligently, looking at the news, correlating it with scriptures and prophecy. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And he's doing that, okay? He's doing that. Through prophecy, all calamity is coming upon this earth. Chaos is brewing up, okay? And so all out hell completely breaks loose. A time like never before, disasters and the most chaotic events you can possibly think of, all right? And Esau coming down with great wrath, all right? And the end game will be the RFID chip being mandated, the MOTB, Mark of the Beast, World War III, then Yahushua returning, delivering the elect, and America getting nuked, all right? That's the end game. And then the elect will come back down and reign on the earth and rule, okay? Now, let me keep reading. It says, then shalt thou understand that it is, I read that, verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou will understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right, so earthquakes and uproars. And you're seeing protests. Look at the protests this year. Remember the protests of 2020. All right, and not just in America, all over the world. All right, protests in France that have been going on for a decade now. The yellow vest. Different type of protests were popping off all over in 2020, and then it kind of calmed down, but it's all going to brew back up, okay? And again, the protests that happened this year against ICE, okay? And the big, beautiful bill that just passed, now they're going to fund ICE and detention centers, you see, to create more of these FEMA camps, detention center camps, death camps, really. And also what's in that big, beautiful bill is when there's a disaster, a chaotic event that happens in a city, the government won't help you. And this all just passed. And it's a ploy to incorporate their smart cities, okay? It's not done by accident. No, it's orchestrated, okay? Second Ezra, the 16th chapter. Second Ezra 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And we're in those times, and it's only going to get worse. We're seeing wars brewing up. A famine, an orchestrated famine will come, okay? And we're seeing that brew up. I mean, what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz, okay? If Iran puts those blockades of mines, naval mines out, it's going to disrupt the transport of LNG, liquefied natural gas, and that's going to disrupt world economies. In this case, America, okay? It's the main setting place in the Most High's movie, Babylon the Great. And it's going to mess up the logistics system. Gas prices are going to inflate, and that's just one event. There's going to be many more after, all right? And there is more that's been even before. There was things going on, farms catching on fire, train derailments, releasing chemicals, and the food, the inhabitants of that land were filled with toxins. Okay, that happened a couple years ago. I remember that. You see, so It says, behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, right? You know, to bring judgment, all right? Plagues, tribulation, anguish, all right? And famine, because in the floods that hit that place in Central Texas, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of farms over there, and now it's flooded, okay? You know, plagues, that's a plague. Tribulation, people are being unalived. Or I gotta use my words carefully, but they're being unalived. Children missing as well. You saw it just, you know, it was a girls' camp. Some of them were, you know, are missing. Okay, this is all going on, and it's all being orchestrated. It's not done by, you know, it's not just happening miraculously. Okay, no, it's being orchestrated by these weather manipulating machines. Okay, so I want to make this video short. I don't want to go too long. Hope willing, it's edifying. All right, on to the next one. Shalom.